Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time we took a stroll around the base and we learned a bit more about the new mechanics in the game. This time we're going to take on our first mission and hopefully find the Dark Elf. However, before we do that, two things. So, off screen I did a little bit of grinding, mostly for E-crystals. I got up to 480. Mostly because, even though I talked about the satellite system last time, I didn't really get to show it to you. So, now that I got enough crystals, I'm going to actually use Sylphie here, because she's a perfect example of how this system works. So she's a cyberspace elf, you can tell that because of the yellow A. She is fusion and she's a medium elf, you can tell that because of the L1. Now you can see that we require 250 in order for her to level up. So, now that she has fully leveled up, we could go to the fusion option and use her. Then we'll get her effect permanently, but we will also get a permanent score deduction, and we want to avoid that. So instead, we're going to give her a few more crystals. Because she has the green and blue arrows, we can turn her over to satellite. And now, we can equip her. And there you go. You can see the difference right there. And finally, last time I mentioned how I intend for this to be an S rank Let's Play, and I maintain that promise. But because of that, for most missions, aside from the final one, I will be going through them twice. In my first run, I will be rushing to all the way through the stage to the boss room, while taking out as many enemies as possible in order to get a perfect enemy score, and also getting the perfect time and completing any extra objectives that there may be. Because of that, I may not get every single secret disc through my first run. I will leave that for the second run. I may also be rather silent during my first run, but I may occasionally comment on a few things. But yeah, so let's stop wasting time and pick our first mission. So we have 4 missions, as is the usual. We're going to do this from left to right. The new Arcadian army is building up at the base in Aegis Volcanic. We do not know what their intention is. Do some scouting. Mission assigned. All personnel prepare to transfer. Preparations for transfer complete. Transfer. Zero, be careful. A strong energy reading detected. They are building a huge missile outside the base. The base must be here to support the construction. Analyzing a route to the missile factory will take quite a while. Zero, what should we do? Alright, I'll buy us some time by attacking the base. Start your analysis. Alright, here we go. Watch out for the falling rocks in the background, they deal a decent amount of damage. That right there, that is the portal to cyberspace. I'm not going to show you how it works right now, we'll leave that for the second run. Also, you saw that I just picked up a secret disc right there. If I hadn't, it would have fallen into the lava. That would not have destroyed it, but if you don't pick it up instantly, it will eventually despawn. Don't worry though, if you just take out the same amount of enemies that dropped it, you can just get it back. So you're at no risk of permanently losing a secret disc that way. Alright, so far so good. I'm going to quickly switch over to the recoil rod, you'll see why in a second. So, you can use the recoil rod charge attack right here, and we get a secret disc. And you can also use it to force this enemy to turn around. I'm going to do that, or that will come in handy later, you're about to see. For now, let's switch back to the Sea Saber. Okay. And right here, we have the first mini-boss. This is a mini-boss that I both love and hate. I love it because it's a very good mini-boss for getting a high enemy score, because it's just a bunch of small enemies. I hate it, but because it can be rather cheap, the way it may occasionally spawn right where you are. So it can be rather annoying because of that. Alright, so far so good. There's the second portal to cyberspace. There's more than one. Come on. There we go. Let's quickly pick this up. So far so good. Come on. There we go. Alright. Here we are. I almost gave up on finding a foe worthy of fighting me. You look like you might at least be a minor challenge. I'm gonna enjoy this, Zero. Sya! Get ready for Blazing Blizzard, one of Bile's numbers. Let's heat it up, Zero! Alright, first boss. Okay, one attack down. I do want to make sure that it shows all attacks. It can throw its frill as a boomerang, and it can also do that. I'm hoping that it will actually show you its EX skill. There we go, that's the one. Took some damage, that's fine. And that's its final attack. Perfect. Who are you to put out my flames? Lord Bile will get you though, make no mistake. He'll cover the whole world in flames, you'll see. You can't put out the flames of our new world. See, Alright, let's see how we did. We got the flame body chip, and we got the EX skill of Blazing Blizzard. We got the burst shot. So, perfect, really. I mean, we took some damage, but not enough for it to actually affect our damage score, but yeah, perfect. So, we could open this right now, but I'm going to wait. Let's now head back to base. Thank you, Zero. We failed to destroy the missile, but I believe we succeeded in delaying its construction. I will analyze the route to the missile factory as quickly as possible. Please, wait a bit longer, okay? Alright, fine. So, pretty good. Also, another minor detail that I didn't mention. In previous games, in order to do anything regarding elves, you have to talk to CL. You no longer have to do that. You can do that at any point in the game. So, yeah. So I know we didn't get all the secret discs, but I do want to inspect one specifically. And it's this one. Blazing Blizzard. This lizard can detach his tail and frill. So, I mentioned last time, specifically regarding to CL's secret disc, that they don't really give you that much information. I mean, the information that we get here from Blazing Blizzard, it's not incorrect. He can do that, but there's a lot more to say regarding him. Also, you may have noticed that he had a human form before he transformed. Now, that is because Blazing Blizzard, alongside 7 other Mutos Reploids, belong to a very specific group within Neo Arcadia. They're called the Hachi Shinkan, or the 8 Gentle Judges. And no, the gentle in the name is not meant to be ironic. But anyways, let's go ahead and go back to the Volcano base, and I'll continue talking about the Hachishinkan. So, the Hachishinkan. They were, or they are, a special group of Reploids that, within the structure of Neo Arcadia, they, alongside Copy X, were put in charge of determining whether a Reploid that was brought in due to suspicious reasons was to be labeled a Maverick or not. And for the most part, they were actually characterized as kind, gentle, and righteous. They wouldn't just immediately label anyone suspicious as a Maverick. But even so, we do know that the reason that the resistance exists is that there was an increasing number of executions, or retirement if you want to call that. So what happened? Well, as much as they may have not wanted to label a Reploid as a Maverick, Copy X had authority over them, so they would not be able to override his decisions. And they in fact at one point questioned his decision regarding a specific Reploid. So yeah, despite all that, they were not, let's say, evil. Now, you wouldn't think that based on the exchange that we had with Blazing Blizzard. That is because they changed. As soon as Dr. Vile returned to Neo Arcadia with Copy X, he basically altered their bodies, making them more suited for combat, and he also changed their personalities drastically. So that is why Blazing Blizzard, who is usually described as being more calm and collected, was shown as so fiery and angry. That is because Dr. Vile corrupted him, as he does many things. Aside from that, so most of the information that I'm pulling from regarding the Agent of the Judges comes from two sources. First off, being the Mega Man Knowledge Base, which is a website which I will put in the description, and the drama tracks from the Remastered Tracks albums. So, when it comes to the Mega Man Zero series, there were 5 albums released alongside the games. The first 4 were released each for every single one of the original games, Mega Man Zero 1 to 4, and then the 5th one was released alongside the collection that was released for the Nintendo DS. A few of these albums actually had drama tracks, aside from the songs of the game, aside from the game soundtrack. They had a few drama tracks, which I believe are still only in Japanese. There's no official English translation, but they will provide more insight as to the inner workings of Neo Arcadia and the Resistance base. And they also provided more information that helped to flesh out a few of the characters, such as the Agent of Judges. So, I will occasionally, throughout this Let's Play, go back to the drama tracks. And just in case that you're curious, I will post them in a link. I will post a link to them in the description. So yeah, aside from that, every single boss, including Blazing Blizzard, actually has a few lines of dialogue during combat. It's sometimes hard to tell what they're saying because, well, for one, they're in Japanese and there's a lot of noise during combat. So what I want to do is I want to dedicate a small segment at the end of every episode in which I will just go over the lines of dialogue that they have during combat. In this case, Blazing Blizzard really doesn't have all that much to say. He only has one, and he does it when he performs his EX skill. So let's take a listen. Yep, that was short. Welcome back. Also, every single enemy has a unique line of dialogue for when you lose to them. Since I don't intend to do that, I will be showing that at the end of every episode. Now, there's one topic that I didn't mention that much: cyberspace. So as you can see here, some stages have more than one portal, and all the cyberspace elves that we have just activate. So yeah, I mean, it's a neat idea, but also keep in mind that secret discs that would normally drop from enemies will not. But any secret disc that is normally hidden in the stage or in containers, you can still collect those. So yeah, when it comes to... Personally, I don't much care for cyberspace. As a mechanic, it's alright. I think with the satellite system you get enough leeway to actually use elves without having to worry too much about the consequences. I also really don't like the green filter that they put on the screen. It doesn't really look that well, and it makes some stages that otherwise look pretty good look rather ugly. So yeah, as a gameplay mechanic I don't much care for it. As a story element it has some potential. But yeah, I think that's... Actually no, one more thing before we head back to base. I didn't show the flame chip. So, in Mega Man 03, anytime you equipped a body chip, you will see a change in Zero's color, similar to the forms in Mega Man 02. And also, we obtained a new EX skill, the Burst Shot. Explodes when used with flame body chip. I don't really use the C Buster that much, but I'll just show it this time. There you go. Alright, I think that's enough. Let's head back to base. Alright, so, and I just realized that I forgot to go over a few things. So first of all, final thing regarding the 8 gentle judges for now. They seem to have a human form. That form is called the crime form, and their form that they adopt in order to fight is called the punishment form. So yeah, there's that. Also, the penalty for entering cyberspace every single time is 5 points to your mission score. Since I intend to maintain an S rank and I need 96 points average, I will not be using cyberspace a lot. Alright, so let's go over all the new secret discs and we'll end it here. File B. New Arcadia is a utopia of peace without any mavericks. Artan. So, this is an interesting cyber. It has another copy and they can turn into sub-tanks. Now, the game already has 2 sub-tanks that you can obtain if you explore a few specific stages, and you don't get a penalty for using them. So I do suggest that you try to find those instead of using the Cyber Elf sub-tank, because you will get a permanent score deduction for that. Then we have Slop. So this is a satellite Cyber Elf, and it has a useful effect. It will hover around you and basically drop health pickups every now and then. You can give it some energy crystals in order for it to drop energy capsules more often. Boomeras. So this is actually an interesting one. Technically, you could say that it has 3 copies, but I don't really count it that way. So Boomerang's effect is that it gives you a +1 to your shield boomerang. The other 3 quote-unquote copies don't have the exact same effect. They give you +1 power but to the other 3 weapons, the C-Saber, C-Buster and Recoil Gun. So yeah, anytime that we encounter any of its brothers, I will go into detail about that. Clockle. This is a really useful one. You can turn it into a satellite, and I do suggest that you do that, because it has the effect of increasing your weapon charge time. So, or rather reducing your weapon charge time. So yeah, I will most likely end up using this one. We got 50 E-crystals. We got Volcanic, Lamplord, Crossbind, the mini-boss, and that's it. Alright, so I guess I'll just leave you with the unique line of dialogue for Blazing Blizzard whenever you lose to him, and that'll be all. Next time, we'll take on another mission and hopefully get closer to capturing the Dark Elf. See you guys then. What? Is that all you got? How damn it. And I was hoping to have a little fun too. See ya!